Bison Media Zone on WDAY Extra.
Yeah, it is Bison Media Zone on WDAY Extra. Today we're in our home studios. We've got Grant Olson. Gio is here, NDSU defensive coordinator. Harkening back, I remember 6 years ago we made the switch to TV. You were our first guest. Do you know that? When we made the big switch and we were doing this for the first time, like, Gio would be the perfect guinea pig. It worked, and here we are. We're still doing it, man. So thanks for coming by.
Absolutely.
You haven't done this in person, so this is awesome that you're here.
This is really cool. I'm excited.
I know you don't want to be here, though. You want to be up in the office getting ready for a football game.
Yeah, so a lot of people have been asking just in general, what's it like? And I'm like, man, this is the first time we've been doing this in December and not had a game that I can remember. So anyway, unique certainly. Bitter taste in the mouth, and already planning on righting a wrong next year.
Tim was here last week, and it was still, I think, fresh. I don't know if it's, just describe the couple days after, how difficult that was.
Man, I think you relive every moment about 18 times in your head. I mean, every single play, and you naturally as a coach take everything so personal, and I know I'm not the only one. I know there's a lot of other people that feel like, man, if I only would have done this one thing different, we would have won the game. Well, it was funny. I was talking to Esley Thornton after the fact, and Esley goes, well, he's like, well, Grant, that's why you guys win so much, is that many people in the program feel that way. So anyway, don't get me wrong, I'm still encouraged. We picked a bad time to have our worst game of the year. It is what it is right now. Can't do anything about it. But our guys, we definitely didn't have a lack of competitiveness. They battled. It's not like we weren't trying hard. So anyway, all the things that I can live with as a coach, I can. Do
you ever remember a more bizarre game? I mean, you had 5 interceptions. You returned one for a touchdown. You got a punt return touchdown. It doesn't compute to lose the football game.
Yeah, that was incredibly unique. I think the only other one that would even come close would be the Sam Houston State playoff game down at their place. That was incredibly unique because I want to say, if I remember correctly, blocked punt for a safety, punt return, and then maybe a kick return
touchdown. Yep.
Anyway, and those special,
won that one.
Yeah, those analytics are like 99% chance of winning the game. Same thing. It happens. It's football. It's why you play the game. And I know, like, Tim talks about the human element a lot. Like, well, shoot, I know defensively, you asked me, okay, what's your overall view of the performance? Like, well, we needed one more stop and we didn't get it. That's the nature of defense.
Yeah.
If we would have needed to win that game 7-6, then you got to win it 7-6. And you just keep going out there and competing. So anyway, we'll get better for in the future.
I would push back just to say, I don't think what else could you guys have done defensively? And you played 91 plays. You got 5. To me, and I'm not saying that because you're here, I've said this on the show, you guys had an unbelievable day defensively.
Yeah.
You did a great job in that game. That's my 2 cents.
Well, I appreciate it, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things to be proud of, certainly, and on the season as well. But again, it still is going to come down to, and like the way that we're going to operate is like, guys, one less point than what our offense scores, and that doesn't matter. And anyway, unfortunately, there's a couple like, man, if I could go back and do it over. And there's that, whether you win or lose, it just feels obviously a lot worse when unfortunately you don't get it done.
So now you're in this weird spot. We were talking about it. It goes without saying there are players out there on your team that are being either tampered with or been contacted with about going potentially elsewhere. Yeah. How do you handle that now?
It's really hard. And I really appreciate that we've got enough just mutual respect amongst the players and coaching staff that I've got guys that feel comfortable coming into my office and telling me the dollar amount that they're being offered right now. And unfortunately, I can't do anything about it. My job is to sell, let's look at Gray Zabel. Let's look at some of these other guys that maybe have passed that up, and here's how it's worked out for them. But in the counter side of wanting to give them the respect of, if you have to make a separate decision, then you got to make a separate decision. And anyway, just do the best we can to keep presenting the good parts about being at NDSU.
What are the dollar amounts that you're being told?
I can confidently tell you $500,000, and I'm sure there's some that are more. I don't know every detail about some of those, but confidently, $500,000 is no stretch for a top NDSU football player.
So that's you saying it. It's not me, because people hear me like, Izzo doesn't know what he's talking about. That's what you're being told by your players right now.
Yes,
for some of your players.
No, the thing that I think that is unfortunate about that is there's also been a couple negative stories, and without a couple exact examples that I don't want to put any individual out there in their situation, but one thing that is nice is our players do know that there's other people, whether it's high school friends, people that we've played against, because everybody's so connected now.
Yes.
Like our players know players at other teams way more than what it used to be, and especially social media and all those things. But anyway, there's a lot of horror stories that our guys are aware of an agent contacted me or a team contacted me. They offered me $200,000. I went there and I got hurt and I got $15,000. Nowhere near what I was supposed to get. And then after I paid my agent and my taxes, I didn't really get that much money. I wish I would have stayed at NDSU, or I wish I would have stayed at XYZ in the Missouri Valley. There's a lot more of those stories than there are I got my $500,000 or I got my $1 million. But those are real stories too. I know, what is it? Texas Tech's D-line is like a $7 million D-line or something insane.
Yep.
That's real stuff.
Yep. Are you cautiously, you don't want to even see your phone light up right now? How do you handle this now for the next little bit?
Oh, man, good question. Trying to get away, trying to take opportunities. We did it, the entire team. Everybody went to somebody's house or went out to eat with a coach for an occasional meal. So anyway, just doing as much, I think, as we possibly can and staying in touch with guys and just checking in. Hey, how are you? It's going to be unique for our players. This is the first time that they've ever had a 3-week break. How do we handle that? Make sure that we don't come back out of shape in those things. So anyway, staying in touch with them certainly isn't just trying to negate the portal. It's trying to make sure we keep our team strong and healthy in those things. But I think that's the biggest thing. But all of a sudden you get a phone call from a player out of the blue.
Hey, coach, can we talk?
That's the first thing that goes through your mind.
Right?
It is.
And that's the day and age you live in now. I mean, that's what you sign up for, which unfortunately is where we're at. But I mean, we've seen it now where just at the FBS or the Power 4 level, there are guys out there. It hasn't even really got to this level yet. And when it does, that's the part where it could be a freight train, right?
Yes, absolutely. You see, you're seeing teams where almost there's an entire roster being turned over. And I think what a lot of people don't understand about these rules, or I know I would like to see some changes, the NFL isn't this bad. The NFL doesn't turn their roster over like this.
And you can't leave before a playoff game. Like in the NFL, you can't do that.
No, there's contracts. There's multi-year contracts. I mean, realistically, if I just had to take a guess, and I'm not on any committee, so I have nothing to do with the rules, but it seems like the only logical place for this to go is to become more of an NFL, a collective bargaining agreement, rules, multi-year contracts, etc. That's the only way to restore some sanity, because right now it truly is insane. It makes no sense. And we're in a day and age of the money and people willing to provide it, and somebody's going to pay somebody some money, so it's going to happen. And anyway, I would rather see it go that way. Again, I'm in people might say that. Don't take anything for what I'm saying as this is going to happen. Yeah. I'm not on any committees. Nobody asked my opinion. But it's just, that's what my brain's telling me.
So come January 12th, are you going to be running around circles no matter what? Hey, if this is what we got, okay, it's over, done with. Now I know who I'm going to coach this coming spring.
I hope so. Yeah. I would hope that would be the case for us. But you never know. Yeah. I know we've got a plan to be ready and all hands on deck, whatever is needed, and we need to be here and anything we can to keep loving these guys and keep coaching them.
Tell me, I guess, a couple guys that we discussed when we met in Media Day way back in August that maybe not necessarily surprised you, but boy, their performances defensively, that exceeded my expectations in 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. I think number one, I would say Jaquise Alexander really exceeded some expectations. I thought that he was going to end up having a good year. It ended up being a little bit better than what I thought. I mean, I was just looking up our stats. He had a lot of passes defended, and he made some really big-time tackles for us in some key moments, covered some really good wide receivers. Yes. I mean, we played some really good receivers this year. He did a great job there. So he's a guy that exceeded some expectations. I don't know if I saw Keenan Wilson having maybe this good of a year. Because I coach him, I thought that Nathaniel and Donovan were going to have excellent years. And I still might even give you those names as far as exceeding expectations. I've got the numbers right now. Logan and Donovan, Nathaniel as a trio of starters had the best year of any three NDSU linebackers in my time of doing grades, and it's still one of those that right now I still can't believe that we don't have more All-American nominations on defense. Yeah. I mean, if you're the best defense in the country, you should at least get one first-team All-American. That should be mandatory.
You would think, yes.
And I think just stats-wise, I thought I looked it up. We had the number one scoring defense, and we had the number ones as far as yards, and so I don't know what else you got to do to get an All-American, but apparently it's play bad defense and get a bunch of stats is the answer.
Bingo.
Of how to get an All-American.
Bingo.
We're not doing that.
No.
We're going to keep giving up 13 points a game and stuff like that. So anyway, I've moved on. I don't even care anymore. It's to the point that I'm like, we're going to win football games, and who cares what everybody else thinks.
The Jaquise a good one, I thought. I mean, he had a couple. Kyle and I would talk to him the broadcast. He had the pass breakup at the goal line against UND. Had the one interception on his back against SEMO. I still don't know how he made that play. He really was really solid. I thought the whole secondary. Talon Edey is I know that's a guy you're probably sweating out right now. He was a fantastic year, I thought, on the back end.
For a freshman, absolutely. I think that some of the things that I almost forgot as the year was going along, that he's still a young player. I mean, a redshirt freshman. Well, in college football, if you're at a program a couple of years, maybe you're not that way anymore, but he's still a young player. He's got a lot of great football ahead of him. Same thing with Jalen Crumby. So, I really thought that our secondary made some big steps forward this year.
Donovan Woolen this time last year had played a little bit on specials. Boy, he just took off in ways that maybe I don't even know that I thought were going to happen. Describe what he did in 2025.
Well, I think we were able to use him in a really wide variety of ways. Very rarely, I mean, he played man-to-man on slot wide receivers. So you're covering guys like Raj and Olson. Well, that's no easy task. People put tight ends out there to block him and all of a sudden run bubble screens. Well, we didn't get gashed in any bubble screens this year on the perimeter because he was out there setting edges. So you're battling guys like Raj and Nelson. Then you got to go battle big tight ends. Then I got you blitzing off the edge. I got you blitzing up A-gaps and making plays. I mean, that's a lot. The NFL does not ask that out of their slot wide receivers. They ask them to go play man on wide receivers, and that's it. So we actually, and don't get me wrong, I understand that it's different, but we ask him and that position to do such a wide variety of things. And I thought he dominated tight ends, receivers, tackling running backs. He was just an all-around great football player. So anyway, that's in a nutshell what he was able to do.
Seeing Staling play as well. You and I have talked about Staling, I think, as much as you and I talked about Logan Kopp before he actually got a chance to play. To see what Nathaniel did first year as a starter was I know that, hey, Tom, this is what I expected out of him, but did that even exceed what you thought he could do?
Yes, I think in a little bit where it's like, okay, it's your first year starter, and I knew he had the talent to be that good, but you're always expecting maybe a guy's first year starter, maybe a couple more rookie MAs and things like that. And Nathaniel didn't have those. Like one of the most important things that I grade is we call them critical errors, things that cost the team big time. And he didn't have very many of those. Everybody makes a mistake, and unfortunately, it's at the wrong place at the wrong time at some point. But man, we knew what we were doing. Very few times was the defense not all on the same page, operating the same call. He made checks really well. All those extra Mike linebacker things, he did awesome.
The one thing people would ask about was Toby Anene's year, and he certainly at the back end was really good. How would you feel that Toby played in 25?
Yeah, I feel like he started the year playing good, and I think he ended the year playing great. I think he got better as it went along. It's one of those, man, if we could have won and all of a sudden you're playing a couple more games, I think he finishes the year with 11 to 12 sacks. And I'm talking 4 or 5 more sacks. I mean, I think he gets 1 per game in the last 3 and probably ends up finding a way to get a couple more. So anyway, it is what it is, but excited about his future.
All right, we got a break. You got a couple more minutes here before we go? All right, let's take a break. We come back. We'll wrap things up with Grant Olson here on the Bison Media Zone on WDAY Extra, chatting on the future of the Bison D. We'll do that when we come back. All right, just a few minutes left here with our guy, Grant Olson. Here's a guy that I know you're excited about, watching video of Gavin Sell.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about 2026 and the linebacker. What do we make of his future and what he potentially could do for you?
Really bright. He's one of those rare freshmen, just say best freshmen that have come in your time, at both playing and coaching and everything at the linebacker room. Well, number one, I think you got to start that conversation with Logan Kopp. He just started off like he could have helped us so much that year, but I was saving him because of James Kazer's groin injury and all these things. Wisniewski was coming off the ruptured Achilles, and then you couldn't do the playoffs thing extra at that particular
year.
So anyway, but Logan to me is like the benchmark of like going to be a great linebacker in the future. Okay, well, Wisniewski came in and was a really good freshman as well. That's another example. Donovan is an example. I would right now put Gavin in that category of it. And what makes that? Well, number one, there's a lot of guys that have been really, really athletic, but the things that put you in that category is maturity, sense of urgency, work ethic, figuring out the playbook quickly. Like Gavin Sell, I know that he spends a lot of time thinking about football when he's not at the facility. I just know he does. You can see it in his eyes. He cares that much. Anyway, bright future.
Email comes in. Dom, can you ask Grant? Here you go. Who's the toughest quarterback you faced this year?
It's got to be Brungard. He was really, really good.
And put Cole Payton in that mix, right? In practice,
Cole Payton in practice. And it's one of those, I don't think we never get a chance to see the full version of it because it's and nobody says stay away from Cole Payton more than me, okay? Trust me. When anybody got close, you heard my raspy voice yelling across the field. But Brungard, just the amount of times, just even some of their ability to score points, Toby and Logan had almost what should have been an incredible sack against almost any other quarterback in the country. Now you knock him out of field goal range, but instead he scrambles. We had so many of those against him where I'm sitting there we dialed up the perfect blitz. One of the coaches got on the headset and said, hey, Coach Olson, they're running this. Dial up your favorite pressure kind of a thing. And great, we dial it up and it should be a sack, and all of a sudden he turns it into a gain. So, yeah, he was incredible. I got a lot of respect for him.
And he's coming back next year.
Yep.
Lucky for you guys.
Absolutely. Well, it's one of those that honestly, I like playing good players. Playing good teams and good players. That game was a lot of fun. Yes. And don't get me wrong, I was frustrated because we didn't play our best, but it was a lot of fun. And that's what we want. We want to play good, exciting games. And, give those guys credit.
So, did you run on the field more after the Cop pick in the Dakota Marker game or the St. Thomas game at the end of the regular season? Which one?
Probably the St. Thomas one, to be honest with you. And it's just one of those of just they had their starters in. We had our fourth string in. They run a couple trick plays, and I'm sitting there if your starters are going to run trick plays against our fourth string, I'm dialing up everything I got against you. We're going to keep you out of this end zone. And I got no problem with them trying to score a touchdown. It doesn't bother me. But, man, when our backups are able to come in and stop your starters and have a big turnover at the end, we're going to have fun, and we're going to celebrate it. And those kids deserve it. They practiced their tail off. They deserve every bit of my energy, no different than Logan Kopp did. So, anyway, I wanted to celebrate those guys, and we're not going to apologize for it.
All right, last thing here. We're running out of time. Big Christmas here. What's the big – you can't give away the gifts at home for what's going on. What was the most sought-after present that you had to get this year?
Man, okay, I'm thinking about that for a little bit. My older brother they got a baby due in March.
Okay.
So anyway,
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to be an uncle again. But first time on this side of the family. And so anyway, some baby gifts. Hey, no gifts for us, baby gifts. I'm like, sounds good. We can do that. So anyway, that was kind of fun and just something unique and different.
All right, here you go. I got All-Americans FCS stats perform. All-Americans came out. Cole first team.
Okay.
Bryce Lance. Fraley. Caleb Bowers.
Yep.
Kopp first team with and Eli Ozick. So there you go.
Gotcha.
There you go. Apparently somebody recognized it there.
Yeah, somebody. I appreciate that. I'm like, I don't know what else you got to do. And I appreciate that somebody was willing to do it. He's especially Logan, and I get it. Don't get me wrong. And our offense and those guys, but just the defense coordinator, linebacker coach, sometimes you put your hands up.
This was awesome, bud. Thanks so much for coming by. Have a great holiday. We'll talk to you in 2026, all right?
Appreciate you having me.
Grant Olson joining us here in studio to wrap up the Bison Media Zone on this Wednesday. We do it each and every Wednesday at 10:30 on WDAY Extra. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.